The hammer is one of the most powerful weapons in the beta, and it will go pretty much as is into the full game, no changes announced, and that means it has good damage, it has very good stuns, and yes, the hammer is very often compared to the greatsword. There is a lot of similarities, but it has one key difference: no blocking. They can go block, but this. However, it has offset attacks, and that means you can block by attacking. That's right, you can block without being insecure about your masculinity. I mean, offsets are very strong because the Dosha Guma set bonus gives you a big damage increase when you do an offset successfully, and the Dosha Guma set will be available in the early game on the full release, so you are gonna be full force from the get-go. The hammer is also very simple, but not necessarily easy. Your attacks are extremely slow, and you do not have all the cancelling and blocking that the greatsword has to compensate for the slowness, and that means that you mess up, you get hit every single time. But hey, some people like that, so all the more reason to try it. The hammer has no special bar to keep track of or anything like that, but it does have a charge mechanic, and almost every move has a modifier, which is great because it means you are not gonna bounce as much. But I am gonna explain the combos on PlayStation buttons. If you are on the Xbox, it is the same layout, but the name of the buttons are different. I thought it was easier this way. The main attack that you rely on is the triangle combos. As you see, most combos finish with the golf club attack, the golf swing, that is an upswing, and you hold triangle. When you hold triangle, you can delay that upswing and you turn it into an offset upswing. That means that if you time it and you hit a monster when the monster is in an attack animation, you are gonna cancel the animation and you can stagger the monster. And that, yes, it takes us to the first basic combo. Your first triangle attack can be directional, by the way. You can hold your stick wherever you wanna go and you are gonna swing while you attack, which is very important on a slow weapon. You want to do triangle, ideally moving yourself forward a little bit, and then you wanna do triangle again, and then you do a third triangle attack, but this triangle, you hold it for a little bit and you time it against the monster's attack. Now, the main advantage of the hammer is that it does a lot of stun damage, and that means that if you hit a monster in the head over and over again, they are gonna get stunned, and that is basically they cannot fight back for a second or two, and that's huge. But it also means that you need to do focus mode and do the entire combo in focus mode to make sure you're hitting the monster in the head, which is a bit of a bummer. You do not have to, but you should do it. However, to understand the combo better, we need to understand the charge mechanic. If you hold right trigger for a while, you are gonna charge your next attack. You are gonna blink red on yourself every time you go up a level of charge, and there is 4 levels of charging. As long as you press the attack button before letting go, your right trigger, you're gonna be charged when you attack. You want to start most combos by doing charge 1 before you do it, because it takes very little time. Every successive level of charging takes a lot longer. But here's the weird part. This weapon has a lot of animation cancels, and that's a huge part of why the hammer does a lot of damage. If you do your basic triple triangle combo, and yes, you can do a level 1 charge before the combo if you want, you don't have to, but you should, you can immediately follow it up with a very strong charge attack, and it will cancel the animation of the charge, which means you can do this super fast. That full combo is triangle, triangle, then you hold triangle for a little bit, so it is a delayed upswing, and then you hold right trigger and you press triangle and circle at the same time. Do not let go of right trigger yet. You wanna wait until you blink red and then you do triangle, and that's when you let go. You can even follow it up by pressing triangle and circle again, and that's another hit you can chain, but usually you wanna just start over. It is not worth the damage to do that. This is the best combo for the hammer, even though it is not the best combo in the game. It is up there, it is really strong. What this combo has going for it, however, is that it has an insane amount of stun damage, and that means, once again, if you are in focus mode and you land every hit on the head, you are very likely to stun the monster off of this combo alone. Also, this combo is the best way to generate wounds, but it is not the best way to break them, and that's gonna be the next combo, the focus blow earthquake. You do left trigger to get in focus mode, and then you aim for a wound and you hit right bumper. If you hit a wound, it is gonna break that wound immediately, and you get a huge animation for a ton of damage. damage. The best part is that if you successfully break a wound, you can immediately follow it up with a mighty charge, that is right trigger charge 1 and then triangle and circle and then triangle again after that like we showed. So not only you break a wound, which is a lot of damage, you also get a lot of damage off again. Another combo you should know is the gap closer combo. That is when you need to get to the monster, you hold right trigger and charge, and you can walk while you charge. I don't know if I told you yet, but you can walk and charge at the same time. And then after you get to charge level 2, that is 2 blinks, you do circle and that will push you a little forward, and then you let go of right trigger, then you spam circle 5 times, so you do a full big bang combo, and then you press triangle and circle at the same time, and then you press triangle again. It is only 10% weaker than the main combo, so you do not lose a lot for moving as long as you know how to do this combo when you need to. As a matter of fact, if you hold your stick forward, you are gonna move in between attacks a little bit, and that means of course better positioning, and that is something you desperately need with this weapon. Another move you should know is that when the monster falls down, you want to charge all the way to level 3, that's 3 blinks, and then you spam circle really quickly. If you land, you do a big damage, it's called the Big Bang attack. That's how you know. It is one of the best attacks in the game. It is not the most efficient attack for damage per second, but if the monster is trapped and you're gonna wake him up or break him out, it is the best way to start. As a matter of fact, charging in general makes this weapon a lot better because it is really good for the casual player that relies on traps or chasing the monster and waiting for it to fall asleep and all those things. It will make it a lot easier for those people. The hammer is all about timing your attack and offsetting through the monster's damage because God knows you cannot move out of it. You are slow as heck and dodging is really hard. And because of that, I will go against the norm here and I will not recommend this for the new player because yes, on the surface it is kinda simple, but number one, the combos are very complicated. There is a lot of situational combos and variants of the combos that you can do on top of that, and you might have to do those if you need to move. Sadly, there is no flowchart of the hammer yet. I am gonna put one up on the Discord on full release of the game when it comes out, and you should take a look at it if you wanna play this thing. But the third, and this is probably the biggest problem, there is no failsafe. There is no canceling your swings, there is no blocking, you are stuck. As a matter of fact, I think the hammer is damn near unplayable if you do not know the entire moveset of a monster beforehand and you do not know where to stand, which is not the case for most weapons, but it is for the hammer. You need to know where to stand at all times. And that doesn't mean, by the way, that the hammer is bad. It has some of the best damage in the game. It is easily the best blunt weapon in the game, and the speed killing potential is great. But honestly, if you are a new player and you wanna play a slow weapon, I recommend you start with the great sword instead. It is similar to the hammer, but a lot simpler, and it allows you some crutches, some training wheels like parry and stuff to make it a lot easier for people to learn the game with. They said that the hammer is gonna go without any changes into the full release, so we are probably not gonna revisit the hammer, mainly because I do not like the hammer a lot. But if you are willing to put in the time and really hammer it down, haha, get it? The hammer is a great weapon to do so. Subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching!